Hey everyone, and a really warm welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us today. We're going to take our time and walk step by step through an incredibly powerful business tool called Locational Cost-Profit-Volume Analysis, or, just Locational CVP for short. If you've ever wondered how these massive companies figure out exactly where to build a new multi-million-dollar factory, and without just guessing or throwing a dart at a map, well, this is the secret. It's all about using some pretty straightforward math to solve that big dilemma. And hey, don't worry at all if math is in your first language. We are going to take this nice and slow and make it super approachable.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a really clear 6-part roadmap to follow today. 1. What is locational CVP? 2. 3 steps to success. 3. The cost formulas. 4. A real-world example. 5. Drawing and analyzing graphs. And finally, 6. Recap and practice questions.
All right, let's start right at the beginning with Section 1. What is locational CVP? So by definition, locational cost-profit-volume analysis is simply an economic comparison of location alternatives. To put that into everyday terms, businesses use this method to mathematically prove which city, region, or country is going to save them the most money, or make them the highest profit, based on exactly how much they plan to produce. It completely takes the emotion and the guesswork out of the choice and relies strictly on cold, hard financial data.
Now that we know what it is, let's look at how we actually pull it off in Section 2. 3 steps to success.
I want to reassure you right out of the gate here, no matter how complex a giant business might seem, this entire process literally boils down to just 3 logical actions. Here's your step-by-step guide. Step 1. Determine the fixed and variable costs associated with each location alternative. So first, we just gather our raw numbers. Step 2. Plot the total cost lines for all those location alternatives on a single graph. This is where we draw them out visually so we can actually compare them side by side. And step 3. Determine which location will have the lowest total cost for your expected level of output. You just look at the graph, find how much you want to build, and pick the cheapest option. That is the whole shebang.
To accomplish those 3 steps, we do need to understand the underlying math. So let's move right into Section 3, the cost formulas.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how simple the underlying algebra actually is. This is the foundation of our entire analysis, the total cost formula. It states that total cost equals fixed cost plus your variable cost multiplied by quantity. Just remember, fixed costs are those big expenses like rent or factory insurance. They never, ever change. Variable costs, on the other hand, are things like raw materials. They increase with every single item you make.
Now, if a company also knows exactly how much they're going to sell their product for, they can look at the profit instead. The total profit formula relies on R, which is revenue per unit minus variable cost, multiplied by quantity minus the fixed cost. While profit is super helpful to know, for today's explainer, we're going to focus entirely on finding the lowest total cost.
Let's just pause for a second and break down these letters specifically so you have them locked in your memory. FC is fixed cost. Even if you produce absolutely 0 units, your fixed cost stays exactly the same. You still got to pay the rent. Lowercase v is variable cost per unit. This scales up with every single unit you make, which we represent with the letter Q for quantity or volume of output. And finally, R stands for revenue per unit, which is just your selling price.
Okay, theory is great, but applying it is where the real learning happens, right? Let's jump to Section 4, a real-world example.
So, the crucial point here is understanding the real-world trade-offs in our options. We have 4 potential factory locations, A, B, C, and D. Look closely at location A for a second. It has a massive fixed cost of $250,000 a year, but a very low variable cost of just $11 per unit. On the flip side, look at location B. It's really cheap to open, only $100,000 in fixed costs, but it costs a pretty steep $30 in variable costs for every single unit produced. Our job right now is to find out at what output volume these trade-offs make one location the absolute best choice over the others.
To solve this big puzzle, it's time to visualize our data in Section 5, drawing and analyzing graphs.
All right, so to draw a straight line on a graph, we just need 2 points. The first point is easy. It's simply our fixed cost at 0 units. For our second point, we just arbitrarily pick a quantity to calculate the total cost. Here, we've gone ahead and chosen 10,000 units for Q. Let's do the math step by step. For location A, $250,000 plus $11 times 10,000 units equals a total cost of $360,000. We do the exact same calculation for B, C, and D. Now we've got a specific total cost number for each location right at that 10,000 unit mark.
With those calculations done, we essentially have a strict rulebook for drawing our graph. First, plot the fixed cost on the left side axis, the y-axis, at an output of 0. Second, go over to the 10,000 mark on the bottom x-axis and plot the total cost we literally just calculated. Third, grab a ruler and connect those two dots with a straight line. You just repeat this process for all 4 locations.
And this brilliantly illustrates our result. Each line here represents a different location. The bottom axis is the annual output, and the vertical axis is the total cost. The golden rule of this graph is incredibly simple. Whichever line is the lowest at your specific output volume is the cheapest and therefore the best option for your business. But notice how the lines cross each other? Let's figure out exactly where those intersections happen.
Look right at where line B and line C cross. At that exact point, their total costs are identical. To find the exact quantity where this happens, we just set their equations equal to each other. 100,000 plus 30 times Q equals 150,000 plus 20 times Q. If we subtract 20 times Q from both sides, we get 10 times Q. If we subtract 100,000 from both sides, we get 50,000. So 10 times Q equals 50,000, divide that by 10, and we find Q equals exactly 5,000 units per year.
We continue this exact same logic for where line C crosses line A. Setting C's equation equal to A's, we have $150,000 plus 20 times Q equals $250,000 plus 11 times Q. Following that same algebra, solving for Q proves that their total costs intersect precisely at 11,111 units.
Let's bring it all together now in Section 6, Recap and Practice Questions.
Let's move to our summary and see how this all builds together. Fantastic job making it through the algebra, by the way. You absolutely crushed it. Here's our final business recommendation. If the company expects to produce anywhere from 0 to 5,000 units, location B is the superior lowest cost location. If they're producing between 5,000 and 11,111 units, location C becomes the winner. And for high volume, basically anything over 11,111 units, location A is for sure the best choice. And what about location D? Well, it's never the cheapest at any point, so we just discard it entirely.
All right, it is time to put this into practice. Based on the recap we just viewed, if a company's expected output is exactly 8,000 units per year, which location provides the lowest total cost? I want you to drop your answers in the comments right now. Go ahead, I'll give you a second to think about it.
Okay, here is practice question 2. What is the exact output quantity where location B and location C have the exact same total cost? Think back to that first algebraic equation we solved together when we set B equal to C. Put your specific number down in the comments below.
And finally, practice question 3. If fixed costs stay the exact same at 0 output, what is it that causes those total cost lines on our graph to slope upwards as volume increases? Direct your answers to the comments for this final test on cost logic. I am really proud of the hard work and participation you've shown today.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. Think about how delicate these intersections really are. Consider how a sudden $2 increase in the cost of raw materials, shifting that variable cost just slightly, could completely change the slope of a line and instantly flip which factory location wins a multi-million-dollar bid. The math is totally dynamic, and mastering these formulas means you literally hold the key to massive real-world business decisions. Keep studying, keep practicing drawing those graphs, and I will see you in the next explainer.